Welcome everybody. Glad you're here. Sunday, and tomorrow's a holiday, and it was the quickest amount of time I've made it to Franklin, and probably 2 years since she opened. It was great. There was no traffic this morning. But it is a full moon. And I know with a full moon, traditionally in yoga, we really pull back from the practice. In fact, if you were in Ashtanga yogi, you wouldn't even be practicing today. But you are here today, and it is a flow practice, and we are going to move. But I want to state that up front. So if you find that your breath has gone astray, if your mind is on overload, you feel like you're depleted or you're not maintaining your controlled breath, feel free at any point to skip a vinyasa, to hold downward facing dog, or take child's pose, or do whatever you can to re-engage with your breath. Really, if we just sat and breathed for the entire hour, that would be one of the highest forms of yoga. So it really doesn't matter if you get all the poses in. But what I wanted to talk about today before we started our class is the fact that this is not only a full moon, but it's super moon. And there's usually a few of those every year, but this is the beginning of 4. And this particular full moon is in Capricorn, even though we're in the Cancer season. And the new moon in Cancer will be in a couple weeks. So I want to share just a little bit about this. With it being the super moon, the gravitational pull of the moon is stronger than normal. And the appearance of the moon is going to seem a lot larger and a lot brighter. So that's kind of the cool thing about the super moon. So hopefully, I don't know if you saw it last night, the clouds were coming and going, but hopefully tonight you'll be able to get a pretty good view. And with it being full, you'll probably even be able to see it in the daytime skies. But Capricorn is linked to power, structures, and government, or some sort of control. And we have Pluto that has a particular alignment right now, and really this year, who's continuing to dig up things, continuing to expose things, continuing to reveal things that have been hidden, obscured, or unknown. So we're seeing that more and more, and it's going to continue. But all this exposure is good. I've talked about last week, we were talking about more light coming to the planet. And when there's more light shining, it reveals what's been lurking in the shadows. So again, we have more light coming, we have Pluto doing its magic, and things are going to be becoming more and more revealed. This gives us an opportunity to have our own reality check. Because we may have aligned with certain people, places, things, or subject matters, and then we start to see the truth behind it. And then once that truth is revealed, we may not align with that anymore. We may have to change course. We may change our opinions or beliefs due to that. And so we're still on that path. A lot of things are turning. Pluto is the planet that represents death and rebirth. It's the planet of transformation. It's the planet where it digs up dirt. So that's what's happening right now. That could be individually inside your own psyche, inside your own heart. It could be happening within the communities. Obviously, it's happening within our nation and the world right now. So we see it at a big scale, but also remember to bring it back home to yourself. The good news is Capricorn is also about building things up. So as things start to become revealed, or as corruption starts to come out and we see things collapsing from that, the rebuilding is already occurring. So the structures that are coming are already beginning to take shape. And you may notice that some of the desires that you've been holding in your heart are beginning to get a little louder. They're starting to surface more. And so this is an opportunity for us to look at everything and then take the steps to action, to bring it into manifestation. Next thing for this supermoon that's in Capricorn is to be in the question, are we repeating the past? And even though the past has worked for us, what's changing about it? Is it still working for us? Or even noticing if you're projecting things from the past into the present moment. So my boyfriend's in the music industry, and it's gotten an overhaul. It's changed so much, right? It's changed so much since it went digital. It's changed so much now that we have streaming services. It keeps changing and evolving. And he's trying to navigate himself through all of these massive changes to figure out where he stands now with all these up and coming artists, with all these new things coming in. And we may find ourselves doing the same thing. And it may not have to do with our work, it may have to do with something more personal. So consider what it is that you may be familiar with, doing the same thing the same way, and maybe it's time to change course or to change direction or to break out of the box. Hi, I was hoping you would make it. If we could make a little room for Christy, let's see. Yeah, do you mind scooting this way just a little bit? That would be, no, you're fine. She can go in between you two. Sorry. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. The last thing is Capricorn, because the supermoon's in Capricorn, it concerns kind of the outer world, and Cancer is the inner world. And so that's why keep bringing it back home to yourself, because the Cancer energy as well. But also reflecting on any fast, urgent, moving information. What are we doing with it? Cancer can be an emotional sign because it's a watery sign. The moon is also something that governs water. You know, the moon can govern the tides of the ocean coming and going. And we are made up of like 75% water ourselves. So this could be an emotional period. Remember your tools that you learned here on the mat. It can help you to neutralize the emotions. It can help you to override the emotions when you need to. But you can also sit and be present and really feel the emotions, which is also a yogic way to release them. Once you really feel them, that's when we have the opportunity to release, so it doesn't stay stuck in the body. Everything is accelerating. It's accelerating at a planetary level. Our time has actually increased as well. You may have noticed the time warp that was happening in the pandemic is still occurring today. And that's because the Earth's rotation is actually spinning faster. And that's why time feels elusive right now. I think that's it regarding this full moon. Sometimes I'll do a moon salutation. We're not going to be doing a full moon salutation. We're going to be doing sun sals, but we're going to do a little sliver of a moon sal at the very end, which will bring in that pyramid pose. All right, so let's get going. We're going to take child's pose to start with. And once you lower down over your lap, sending the arms ahead of you, releasing down to your brow. Close your eyes. And feel as though you're beginning to cocoon yourself as you go within. And in this moment, letting go of everything that's happening outside of these walls. And let your breath anchor you into your body and into the space that we're residing in. Connect to your mat, your sacred ground for this practice. Welcome each inhalation and feel your lungs expanding internally And to equally acknowledge when the breath needs to pour out and the contraction of the lungs. Filling them up and emptying them out. Consciously control your breath so you're creating a rhythmic pattern. And allow this rhythmic breath to carry you throughout this entire hour, through the posing. Let it take you towards a meditational state in your mind. Let it create some fertile ground in your heart. So when you're repeating the affirmations, you're planting those positive seeds. On your next inhalation, let's go ahead and slide the hands back. Draw ourselves up to standing Vajrasana. When you come to standing Vajrasana, you're going to step 1 foot forward, lean into it, and step up to the top of the mat. We're going to get right into it today. So look down at your feet, line them up on an invisible line, spread out the toes, and really root them down, lining up the skeletal system and allowing the muscles to hug close to the bone. Zip up through your midriff, lift the heart skyward, let your shoulders descend away from your ears, standing tall and attentive. Join your hands together to prayer position at your heart. Bring the thumbs to the center point of your chest. Close your eyes. And begin activating the Ujjayi pranayama, constricting the back of the throat. Allowing the breath to become audible to hear. Let it mimic the ocean or a whispering sound. And let it represent the song of your soul. Once you set your personal intention, alongside our collective intention, peel the eyes open. Let's begin. Inhale, let your arms circle wide and overhead. And as you exhale, dive forward and down to Uttanasana, your standing forward fold. Inhale, slide your hands up your shins, lengthen out through the vertebrae, look out with your eyes. And as you exhale, step the feet down the mat to plank. Lower to your Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, rise to upward facing dog. Stay on your knees and exhale, power back to extended child's pose. Keeping your hands super glued to the mat, elbows flying up away from the floor to gain traction in your back. A length and stretch in the tricep region. Inhale, rock forward. Keep your knees grounded. Keep your pelvis off the floor, your arms long, your neck rising up out of the shoulders, gazing slightly upward. And as you exhale, press back. Extended Balasana, child's pose. Now let's flow with breath. Inhale, coming forward, modified up dog. Exhale back to extended child's pose. Do that again. Inhale, rocking forward, modified up dog. And then notice your shoulders, widen the width of the shoulders. That's it. And then push back into child's. Let's do it one more time. And again, noticing if your shoulders are cinching towards each other in the front, can you widen through the collarbones? And then push back, extended child's pose. Staying here for a moment for the affirmation, rolling it over in the mind. I release from all outer involvements into my own inner haven of peace. Inhale, rock up hands and knees. Exhale, curl the toes, lift off. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Press into your hands, spread out through your fingers. Slightly dial the hands away from each other and notice the external rotation that allows in the upper arms. Hug the belly in. The primary importance is stretching from your wrist up to your hips. If your hamstrings are in the way, it's okay to bend the knees. But press through the balls of the feet and send your sits bones up a little higher. Let your head bow between the arms, gazing in that space between the feet. On your next inhale, you can meditationally walk, lunge, or float the feet together to Ardha Uttanasana at the top of the mat. And then exhale, drape down. Let your head go. Inhale, root to rise all the way up. And then exhale, bring hands down to Anjali Mudra. All right, we're gonna keep this going. Inhale, let your arms circle overhead. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, sprouting up. Exhale, hands down, stepping back to plank. Dropping into Chaturanga, that low push-up. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, curl the toes. Use the navel to pull back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift high to the balls of the feet. Exhale, lightly land your knees under your hips and untuck the toes. Or reach the right arm forward with the palm open at the corner of the mat. Slide it back like you're going to child's, but turn your gaze to follow that right hand. Circle it up and all the way over. Exhale, slide it back. Inhale, right arm circles up and over. Exhale, slide. If that strains your neck, you can leave that portion out. But we're trying to open up the range of motion here. Last one. Set the right hand down and switch sides. Left hand opens at the corner of the mat. Take it back towards the feet. And then circle it wide and overhead. You're rocking your body back and forth. So when the hand slides back, you're sitting towards your heels. When the arm circles to the front of the mat, you're rocking the hips back over your knees. Last one. Once you just in the left palm, curl the toes, return to Adho Mukha Svanasana, your downward facing dog. Be here and breathe. Let your neck be neutral. Encouraging the blood flow and the energy to pour down towards the third eye area. Firm, and as you hold, calmness begins to radiate throughout every cell and fiber of my being. Inhale, meditationally walk, lunge, or float the feet to the top of the mat, rising halfway up. Shoulders crank back from the ears. Shine your heart forward towards the front of the room, and then exhale, let go. Inhale, root to come all the way up. Gather what you need. And then feel as though you're bringing all that down into your heart space. All right, let's keep flowing. Inhale, open up. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, taking it to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, open the heart. Bring that flexibility into your spine. And then exhale, rock and roll back.
From this inversion, we're going to lift again. So we can descend down to the knees, untuck the toes, and your hands may be a little bit more forward of your shoulders. So stack them with precision. On the inhale, we're coming into cow tilt Uttanasana. Sway the back. And as you exhale, draw it in and round the back. Inhale, sits bones and crown of the head rising. Heart, throat opening. Exhale, scoop in the belly, hide the heart away, archive through the shoulder blades. Do one more sequence, cow, to cats. And then we're gonna bring a little bit more freestyle movement in. So come to a tabletop position. It's gonna look like this. We take it to cow, and then we round it back like child's. We bend the elbows, we stay close to the floor and come up to cow. And then exhale back to child's. So stay low, come through to cow, exhale, undulate back. So basically we're trying to mimic water. We're trying to mimic a wave and getting this undulation back and forth. It takes a little bit of controlled movement through the core. It requires a little bit more upper body strength. Last one. When you return to tabletop position, step your hands a baby step beyond, curl the toes, relaunch into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Audiogram Drishti, gazing back towards the toes. Deep yogic breaths. On your next inhale, bring the feet together at the top of the mat. Lift halfway up on arrival. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, release. Inhale up to the top. And exhale, reset at the heart. All right, we got 2 more sun salves. Inhale, open up. Exhale, close into self. Inhale, feel that Capricorn outer energy. Exhale, drop in, feel that Cancer, watery energy. All right, inhale, step back, plank. Hold your plank. Okay, from holding your plank, check your shoulders, elbows, wrists, align them. Keep your thighs plucking up towards the sky. Push back through your heels. Draw forward with your breastbone and keep the belly hugging in. Nice and firm. Good, now lower your knees, untuck your toes, step your hands farther out, but keep your belly in, your rib cage cinched in, your armpits up, but your ears in line with your upper arm bones. So basically coming into puppy pose. So puppy pose, feel as though you're slurping in through the front side of your body. We're gonna do some breath work and go from puppy to melting heart. So this is our inhale, breathe in. As you exhale, let it go through the mouth and sink into your shoulders and lower to your chest and chin. Inhale, slurp up, puppy. Exhale, breathe it out and down. Continue. Two more. On this next one, breathe in and up to puppy. Breathe out and down to melting heart and remain a moment. If it strains your neck to rest on your chin, you're gonna come to your brow instead. Now, even if you're on your chin, there's no weight there. It's like a feathery touch to the ground. Saturating the shoulder joints, promoting better breast health, flushing out the lymph nodes and the pits of the arms. And feeling this state of surrender. Inhale, slurp up, puppy. Slide your hands back. Return to Adho Mukha Svanasana. We're skipping the vinyasa in this one. When you're ready, step the feet forward to the top of the mat, lift halfway up on arrival. And then exhale, spill back down. Now take a moment to pause here. And feel how the crown of the head is facing the floor. So this is the place of the indwelling moon according to the yogis. So it's like we're drinking from the soma nectar. Next inhale, come all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, we're gonna do one more sun salutation. Inhale, flutter the arms up. Exhale, hinge forward from your hips and bow up. In and halfway up. Out to Chaturanga Dandasana. Into upward facing dog. Out to downward facing dog. All right, from downward facing dog, we're gonna step the left foot all the way forward and up between the hands. Turn and swizzle the right heel down to the floor. Take the arms up to warrior two. And as you come up to warrior two, the first thing I want you to look at is your left foot. Are the toes truly turned towards the front of the room? If not, correct it. Have the knee aligned over the ankle. Make sure the knee's pointed towards the center of the foot. And if it looks like a ski slope in your front thigh, you want to drop the left hip lower. Plug the right thigh in. Float the arms up shoulder height. Feel and experience your hips. It's the main objective for this pose, not only to be firmly grounded and to feel our foundation, but to open and expand the hips. Good, now open up your left hand. Try to keep your lower body completely stable. Lift the left arm overhead, and as you exhale, bring the hand down towards the inside of that left foot. Right arm crosses over the ear. Inhale, bringing it up to side warrior. Exhale, down towards the side angle. Fluidity and grace. Good, last set. But this time when you come down, your hands are gonna frame the front foot. You're gonna spin away from the back heel, and you're gonna be in that lunge position. From the lunge position, step back plank. Exhale, lower down and hover. Inhale, open up. Exhale, roll it back. Reset here by reclaiming control over your breath. Again, welcoming each inhalation and allowing each exhalation. Let your in-breath rejuvenate you, and let your out-breath help you to release something away. Inhale, right foot's gonna step through. And if it doesn't come all the way with, Use your hand to assist. Turn and plant your back foot, bring it on up, Virabhadrasana 2. And then let's check into the stance. Look at your right foot. Is it turned properly? Is the knee aligning so the shin's perpendicular to the floor? Are you really dropping through that right hip? If your waist is leaning forward, can you drive it back for equanimity? Can you power down through your back foot, especially? Gaze down the right fingertips, flip the hand open. Now let's move. Open up the side body, side warrior. Cartwheel it down, side angle. Mobility in the upper body, stability in the lower body. The next time you bring it up, we're going to exhale, frame the front foot with the hand, spin off the back heel. Pausing just a moment to work into that iliopsoas. And then when you're ready, spring the back foot forward to the top of the mat, lifting up halfway. Exhale, roll it down. Pause and be here. Feeding the crown of the head. And affirming here, nothing and no one on this earth can hold me down or back. Next inhale, push down to the feet, sweep the arms overhead. And then exhale, remembering your intention. When you come to Samastiti, close your eyes. Breathe. Affirm. Salutations to the sun and to the awakening light within, to the dawning of a higher state of consciousness in all beings. Relax the arms. You're going to step your feet wider apart. The arms are going to lift up overhead. As you exhale, you're going to lean to the right. Then you're going to turn your belly and face down towards your right foot. Sweep it across to the left, come up the left side, and back up to the top. Over to the right, turn to be face down, sweep over to the left. Inhale. Do one more. This time when you come up, your left arm's gonna stay overhead, your right arm reaching towards the windows. You're shifting your weight to the right foot and you're picking up the left. 4-point star. Balance and breathe. Lower the left foot. Bring the right arm overhead. Lean to your left this time. Turn your navel, chest face down. Sweep over to the right. Inhale back to the top. Exhale to the left. Sweep to the right. Inhale draws you up to stand. Do one more. When you come back to the top, right arm overhead, left arm to the left side, come to the mound with the right big toe, and then fly the foot up and flex the ankle. Hold and breathe. Gaze at one spot specifically. Lower the feet. Bring them next door to each other and lower the arms down. Okay, here we go. Inhale, the arms reach up. We're gonna glue the palms together and create this mudra. I've heard it called temple, Jupiter, Kali, I don't know what you call it. But your shoulders are gonna shrug up towards your ears and your arms are going to hug your head. Point your fingers straight up. Now be mindful not to tuck the tailbone or rock your thighs forward. The thighs should actually roll back so the pelvis remains neutral and you have the natural curvature here. Now that you've assessed your alignment, sway to the right. Hold this pose, Chandrasana, crescent moon. And then explore your breathing. Open it up. As you lift, you're going to separate your hands. You're going to turn to the left. And now you're going to follow Jen, who doesn't know exactly where I'm going. But I trust it. Get your elbows as high as your shoulders. And then make sure your toes are turned out. Your knees are bent. And you're rolling your thighs wide open. And then also contract your biceps. Go ahead and allow that to happen. So you have a little bit more action in your upper body. Good, from here, see if you can drop the tailbone a little bit more. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Then bring your fingertips down to the ground, but a light, effortless touch of your hands. It's really just there to help you with balance. Your torso is parallel to the floor. And then if you need blocks, of course, you can bring those in underneath your hands. Continue to hold and breathe. I know you're feeling your hips, the sacral chakra, the sacral center. It's all about water. It's governed by the moon. That also rules our emotions, our relationships, our creativity. All right, you're gonna lift your heels, spin them back behind your toes, straighten out through your legs. Again, you can bring the floor to you with blocks, or you can keep your hands on the floor if that's accessible. You're gonna walk your hands back in line with your feet, and you're gonna lower back down. When you're lowering your head down, you're gonna tip your weight slightly forward towards your toes. This way you're not overstretching your hamstrings. Slow, deep, rhythmic breathing. On your next inhale, you're gonna walk the hands forward, lengthen out through the vertebrae, lift your head up so your neck's in line with your spine. That way we're not still getting that blood rush to the head. When you're ready, power down to the soles of the feet, lift through your kneecaps, extend your arms to your sides and come up. When you come up, your left hand's gonna come to your hip or waist. Your right foot's gonna rotate to face the front wall. Good, turn your right hand down. Lengthen out over the right leg. Reach, pause. Good, now reach some more through the underside of the arm, through the underside of the right rib cage, pause. Inhale, reach out and away from the right hip. Now take the right hand down to the shin. Turn your gaze up towards the left shoulder if it doesn't strain your neck. Roll that shoulder back and see if you can free up the left hand, sailing it overhead. In your Trikonasana, your triangle pose, feel as though you have a sunbeam shining down upon you. Feel as though you have a moonbeam equally shining down upon you. Just gonna bring the trunk. There. Visualize that light is bringing all kinds of joy and energy down to you, affirming energy and joy flow down to me. Now, as you exhale, you're going to turn your gaze down towards your right foot. And this is where we're going to lightly lunge the right knee. Bring the blocks beside the foot or your hands down beside the foot. You're going to hop the left foot over, turning the toes inward, draping down through that back heel. And then we're going to bring your hands up to your hips and rise halfway up. So with your hands to your hips, I want you to notice your alignment here. We are attempting to square the hips. We're attempting to make the sacral area more level, which means the right hip needs to glide towards the back wall, and the left hip needs to glide forward towards the front wall. All right, depend on the strength and stability of your legs, and inhale, come up. Now keep your right hand on your hip. Lift your left arm up overhead. As you exhale, ground your feet, and stretch out and long over the front leg. Pause halfway down. Inhale, drive it back up. Exhale, hinge forward halfway. Stabilize. Maybe hinge forward, maybe tap the left hand to the block or the floor. And then inhale, come right back up. This time when you come up, your right arm is going to thread behind your back. And you're going to exhale, come halfway down. Inhale, drive it right back up. Exhale, halfway down. Hold, breathe in, breathe out. Maybe tap the left hand down to the floor or block. And then inhale, come all the way back up to stand. All right, we got one more. Now take that left arm and loop it underneath your right arm. So now they're kind of tethered together. Shoulders back, heart lifts, gaze slightly up. Maybe where that ceiling meets the wall. Exhale, slightly turn your navel and left rib cage towards the front leg and fold down and over pyramid pose. Pause at the degree where you feel the need. Now you can release your arms and hands, and you can also bow your head. You know the sequence can become a little intense. Let's all take a cleansing breath here. Breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your mouth. Good, now start to lunge the front knee, wiggle the left toes back behind. You're in that runner's lunge. All right, when you're ready, springboard the back foot forward. Close down and in. Feel the difference in the two sides already. And inhale, bring it right back up. Here we go. I said a modified moon sound, that's what we're doing. Linking your hands to the mudra. Hugging the head with the arms. This time sway left. Good. Affirming strength and courage is feeling up my body cells. Inhale, bring it back to the top, and exhale, you're going to step off to the right. Meredith. She's our fearless leader now. All right, so you're in that Kali Goddess pose. And we're going to be doing something slightly different on this side. Okay, so on this side, again, making sure you're getting the alignment, thighs rolling wide, knees opening out, arms up shoulder height. When you're ready, inhale, straighten the legs, bring the hands overhead and join the index fingers with your thumbs, sacred geometry of a triangle. And then exhale, come back to Kali Goddess. Contract your biceps on the way down. And then inhale, bring it up. Fingers together overhead. Exhale, squeeze the biceps, drop back in, Kali Goddess. Continue that a couple more rounds. So as you're doing this, you see with your breath. Last weekend, I was able to go to this women's circle in East Nashville, and it was all based around the summer solstice, and it was based around the elements of fire, and we did this special ceremony for Kali. And so we're going to bring in the Kali breath with this now. As you exhale, spill the tongue out. Continue. At the very end of this beautiful ceremony we did, it was very sacred, it was very meaningful and purposeful. And at the very end, we were extremely hot and sweltering because we had done this outdoors around the fire in the southern heat. And one of the ladies started to play, "It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. It is getting hot. I want to take my clothes off." Well, in that song, I know it's a terrible song. In that song, it goes, okay, so we're going to do that on the way down. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. Breathing in and up, breathing out. Breathing in and up. Last time. Good. Now bring the fingertips down to the floor. Take a swallow because that can dry out the throat. Turn your heels back behind your toes. Fold back in, Prasarita Padottanasana. Feel free to take another expression. But affirm mentally within. I am now releasing any and all mental barriers and burdens. All right, walk your hands out. Lengthen through the spine, head up, look out. Take the arms to the sides, bring it up. And let your arms lift overhead. Da Vinci pose. All right, from here, look down at your feet, turn your toes out. Similar to Kali, except the legs are straight. All right, Mary Beth, you know Skandasana, that side lunge. That's what we're going to be doing, but with the circle, similar to what we did earlier. So we're taking the arms to the right, lunging into the right knee. Taking it across to the left foot. Inhale, arms up overhead. Good. Just circling to the right. Skandasana to the right, squat in the middle. Skandasana to the left and back up. You got it. Now reverse it, take it to the left. Last one. Once you come up to that pose of Da Vinci, bring the hands down to your hips. Right foot is going to turn to the windows. Left foot's going to rotate towards the front side of your mat. All right, we're back here again. Left arm shoots out. And we're going to reach and pause. Triangle. Reach again, hold, pause. Triangle. One more, length, reach. And lower the hands. Roll the right shoulder back and uplift the right knee. Trikonasana. Your base, your feet are the base of the triangle. And that top hand is the pinnacle or the peak. If your torso is angling in front of that left foot, you want to drive your ribs over the thigh. Really quick. So you're moving forward, so we're going to bring you back. Notice how that tucks into. Good. One more adjustment here. Let's bring the block here and see if that changes it. Yes, do you see how that just opened? Yeah, nice. All right, when you're ready, gaze down towards that front foot, put a little bend in that knee. Offset your right foot, plant it down. Drive the right hip forward towards that left big toe. And then lift your hands to your hips and get really dependent on your feet and the scaffolding of your legs. Set up your hips. And then inhale, draw up to stand. This time the right arm reaches overhead. Exhale, hinge forward halfway down. Hold. Breathe. Inhale back up to the top. Good. Exhale. Really grip your feet into the mat. This time tap the right hand down. Bring it back halfway. Exhale here. Inhale back to the top. All right, left arm threads behind the back. Exhale halfway down. Pause. Inhale. Go back to stand tall. Exhale, hinge halfway down. Hold. Breathe in. Breathe out, tap down. Inhale, all the way up. All right, exhale, right arm hooks under the left. Now the arms are bound behind your back, shoulders back, throat opens. Exhale, slightly pivot your upper body towards your left knee. Gaze towards your left foot. And then if you have the additional flexibility, you can bow lower. And then notice what changes in your lower body when you release your hands and utilize them. You notice the difference? Notice how your legs just want to give out. See if you can keep that conditioning. And then slightly bend into that left knee, wiggle the right toes back behind you. Bring the back foot forward, coming up to stand. Exhale, bringing hands home, sweet home to the heart. Close your eyes. So even though that was a modified moon cell, affirm internally salutations to the moon, to the awakening light within us all, and to the dawning of a higher state of consciousness in all beings. Relax your arms. Okay, so I didn't leave a ton of time for this, unfortunately. Sorry, Chad. But I want us to try something. You may not need a blanket, but I'm going to demo with the blanket and a part of the mat coming across. We've worked into the hips, we've worked into the rest of the body. I do not want you to do this pose if you have a lot of fear or if you have issues with your neck or you already know you shouldn't be standing on your head, okay? And don't feel like you have to go all the way up today. It's not really the objective. It's just to get the feel of the alignment. And we're going to focus really on the foundation of this pose. There's like 7 different headstands. This is Shirshasana 2. This is the second variation. And it works like a tripod. And so if you think about that sacred geometry of that equilateral triangle, right? It's not like this. Those triangles exist, but this one's like this, okay? You want your hands to be shoulder distance apart on the sticky mat. If you have the blanket or a mat folded up for more padding, that's where your head's gonna go. But the main mistake I see from people is the head being too close to the hands. So once you have your hand set, you bring your head way forward of that so that you can actually see your hands. And this is your tripod. From here, notice how the elbows want to wing out, but we need the arms for this pose. So we have to press through the mound of the thumb so the arms cinch in towards the body and the arms are strong. From here, we curl the toes. We lift the knees, but we're not going up yet because look at the hips. Now that the hands, head, arms are aligned, we have to align the hips. So we crawl the toes in. Notice how my arms want to get out, so I have to reapply that pressure. At this point, the knees can float up. This is the prep. You don't even have to go all the way up like this, but if you can, you might be able to lift up to your complete headstand. If you want to challenge yourself to restack before your exit, you can also try that. But again, don't feel like you have to go all the way up. You may just want to work on what's the base of the pose, the hands and the placement of the head. You may want to just work on the foundation and working your arms in. You may want to walk the feet in, but never lift the knees. If you can't be on the top of your head or your neck, you can take, that's exactly like a waterfall as an alternative. And there's also this great device, which allows you to go up and it frees up the neck because the shoulders are supported and it allows you to lift without the pressure or worried about the cervical spine. So if anybody wants to do this one, you can come over and I'll spot you. You've done this before, I don't know. Maybe put your hand in top. And then work your shoulders all the way down. That's it. And then use the handlebars. And then you come up. You can curl up or kick up. I got you. Yeah, beautiful. And then you can lean against the wall for support. Or you can point your toes and pull the feet together in a way, which you're leaning left, which is interesting. I'm just gonna center you. Yeah. This is interesting. Yeah. Cool. Came up to your wall. Oh. Oh, good. All right. Take 3 more breaths. Nice job. All right, so let's settle. Rishabhasana, so that means exiting out of your inversion, whatever you chose to perform. And then please set up on your back if you want the corpse pose. Please use your bolster if you want to create a restorative position of legs over the bolster or a back bend. I'm going to change out the music here. Same artist, but it's a song entitled Peace. So what I want you to focus on here
at the end of the practice is promoting a state of inner peace. The poses help to open up the circulation. The poses help us to unwind from the stress of life. Now we get to contain and hold this energy we've been generating inside. The mindfulness and the focus hopefully created a sense of calm equanimity in the mind. The breath doesn't have to be as controlled. But feel as though you're breathing peace in and breathing peace out. Savor silence right now. Just begin to notice what the yoga has brought to you today. Physical level, the mental, emotional, and spiritual. Let's inhale. Go ahead and stretch your arms overhead. Point through your feet. As you exhale, feel free to hug and cradle the knees towards your upper body. Wrapping your arms around with Maitri and Metta. And kindness towards yourself. Rock side to side. Landing over to one. Coming up for a formal seat to close the practice. Started with intention, we're going to end with intention. Let's join the hands together to Anjali Mudra. Represent grace and gratitude, but also what can represent a state of harmony, balance, and integration. Hopefully you feel ripples of peace running through your system. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May there be peace, peace, everlasting peace. And may we be an instrument of that peace. Thank you so much for showing up and being willing to participate with a smile. I hope you have a wonderful holiday. There is a class happening tomorrow. It's with Maria. Okay, I'm glad she's here. I was about to say 9:30. 10 to 11:30? Yes.